Now it's recording.
Whoa. Watch out, buddy.
Can I hear me crunch?
I can't. I can hear all that.
Oh, thank you.
All right. Let's do some mic checks. Oh, man.
What?
The Onion Knight would be such a good fucking figure to get, but I also don't want Tormund. Those two are the only ones
Yeah,
I
but
want
3-0
there.
would more likely make Tormund than the Onion Knight.
When you said the Onion Knight, I thought of the one from Final Fantasy.
Yeah, the little one. Well, it was Sir Davos. What's his last name?
Seaworth.
Seaworth.
Mic check.
Mike check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Mike check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
I was kind of way back here.
Listen to it in your ears and tell me how it sounds. Give me 1 second to change the sound. Sound good?
Yep.
Oh,
I'll do one more mic check.
I see.
You ready?
Yeah.
Mic check.
Mike check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Alright. Good? Okay. Good to go. Alright. Oh, man. Okay. You ready, Jesse?
Mm-hmm.
Ready, Dean?
Yeah.
Ready, Dean?
I'm ready.
We're gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4 for the intro.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was Zach, Dean, Jesse.
Hey guys, my name is Zach.
I'm Dean.
I'm Jesse.
I'm Deanie.
Welcome to this week's episode of Collecting Weekly. This is the weekly podcast where my friends and I talk about the things that matter the most to us this week in collecting. We have a great show planned for you.
Yeah.
This has been probably the craziest week
This has been a hell of a week.
anything ever. Manny is taking some personal time off of the show for a week. We've all been balls to the wall for the past several weeks, and he asked, and it was appropriate for him to take a break. He's been killing it on the t-shirts, on the sound editing, so
Yeah, we'll be like, hey,
he's-
can you do this design? And like 10 seconds later, he
yeah,
pops it in.
and we've been expanding a lot of our TeePublic stuff with like Stark Industries designs, some other designs, and he's been working his ass off. So he'll be back in the near future. We'll talk about that later though, Dean, because all of the best shows start with a very special segment. Would you like to introduce it?
Yeah, we're gonna be talking about.
New this week. Fantastic.
I actually have nothing new this week.
So rookie numbers, man.
Yeah, dude, I've just been. There's something I really want to get, but I'm waiting. It's expensive, so it's like total. I think I have it in my eBay cart. It's really 2 items that I have to get, which is kind of annoying. That is my fault. Sorry. Yeah, so there's a figure I really want to get, and the original release isn't out anymore, but I could buy the figure without the head.
What is the figure?
It's a
You're talking in very vague.
1/6 Nier Automata 2P.
Oh, okay.
So I could buy the figure, she's in her black outfit, without the head
Yeah.
for like $130.
Oh yeah, you mentioned this like a week ago.
And then I could buy, I guess later in the game, I haven't beat it yet, so she like switches outfits, it's all white.
Mm-hmm.
And I could get that outfit with the head for
Yeah.
like $100
Uh-huh.
with no body, but I don't need the body, and I really technically don't need the outfit, but I need the head. And it's cheaper to buy a second outfit with the head than just the head.
We need like a visual graphic here. We just lost everyone.
It's super annoying, so I'm waiting to buy that, but that's,
Yeah.
I haven't gotten anything like in the past 2 weeks.
Deanie, what did you get this week?
I actually pre-ordered brand new release this week from Prime One Studio. It's a 1/5 scale Nosferatu Zod from Berserk in his
Uh-huh.
apostle form.
Nice.
It was
It's huge.
$25.99 and weighs 143
$26?
pounds.
Wow.
Wait, how many pounds?
142 pounds.
And that's like
I wish I weighed
8 stone over there for
So
For the people in the United
$2,600.
Kingdom.
yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know.
$2,600 before shipping, of course.
Jesus.
Do you have that picture of it
Does it
next
need
to
to
the
be-
person?
Oh, I'll
Crated?
pull that up for you.
Does
Dude,
something like that need to be created?
just look at the size of this fucking thing, not including the box.
Not
Does
including
it
the
come
box.
in like 3 boxes?
It's probably gonna come in at least. Yeah, I
Awesome.
think maybe
You gotta
2 or
tip the
3.
UPS driver for that one. You don't not tip the driver.
Yeah, when I see people unboxing those, it's like the experience on that. I can't wait to get my first one.
Here's the size of it, as you can see.
Jesus.
They can't put the hand on
Wow.
that graphic.
They could. It just would look stupid.
Dude, that's massive.
Yes, he's huge.
And this
It's
is a
about,
character from which game? One more time.
It's from Berserk.
Oh, okay.
There's
Very
a
cool.
manga
So
that's
he's
on-
32 inches tall and 40 inches wide.
Oh.
So it's pretty massive.
Yeah, so that's about almost half the size of a 6-foot person. That's how
Jesus.
big that is.
Jesus.
For those of you just listening.
Yeah.
And do you have a shipping quote on that yet, or?
Yes, in fact, I was gonna mention shipping.
Yeah, but
a
we'll
little
talk
bit
shipping later. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Cool. Jesse, what do you got?
My shirts came in.
Yay!
Hey, show
my
the
collect-
camera.
My collecting
Do
weekly
a
shirts.
flex. You know,
Yes,
do a
yeah.
flex.
Grrr.
So I got my collecting weekly shirts. I got the
Y'all's look crispy.
yeah, dude.
Yours
So I got the
actually
crispy.
looks
So I got the
crispy.
crispy heather
Man,
blue,
look at that, dude.
and then I
Nice.
got
Oh, that's the blue. Nice.
yeah. This is the heather blue, and then I got
That's good on you.
the black. Thank you. It's our T-shirts, the logos. Thank you, Manny.
Yeah.
And then I got the black and white collecting weekly.
Nice.
So that's
very cool. So it's kind of been a very Game of Thrones-y week for me.
Oh,
I
man.
have obviously, if you're watching the video stream here, I have 2 Game of Thrones items in. So we'll start with the McFarlane building set. These are actually both by McFarlane, and this is the Game of Thrones Iron Throne Room set from 2015. And it depicts Joffrey and a Kingsguard, Joffrey on the Iron Throne and a Kingsguard.
Actual
Now,
size?
in that's my son. In 2015, McFarlane had these blind bag figures where you can get like one of 10 different characters. I think they had like a direwolf, a crow, Tyrion, Grey Worm, Daenerys, a few other like major characters in their early season outfits. And the Tyrion I got for $5 on eBay. And you know, it completes the diorama.
You know what's
you know?
crazy? Like, this is so small, but it looks like Peter Dinklage.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
so I'm gonna repaint. So these are about 1.5 inches ish, maybe 2 inches tall for the Peter Dinklage, and I'm gonna repaint the head just a little bit, just to give it a little bit more flesh.
Yeah.
But really, really lovely set. The build itself was super easy. It was obviously very affordable. I think I paid $22 for that. It took me about an hour and a half to build, and I just adore it. It doesn't really look like a Lego type set. Now the McFarlane Viserion was my most anticipated figure from last year.
Uh-oh.
Did it live up to the hype? No.
I was gonna
It's-
say, you tell me, buddy.
We'll talk about this later on the podcast, about the value of like what $20-$25 buys you.
Uh-huh.
I know Dean wanted to talk about it also, but I feel like this is a great idea, but I feel like it's let down in the execution of the materials. The
Uh-huh.
paintwork is beautiful, the flame accessory is really nice, the sculpting is really great, and the thing that lets this figure down is the joints aren't strong enough to hold the wings in position, so I had to go through and add a bunch of gloss, kind of like that furniture
Okay.
future polish, to strengthen the joints. And once I did that, the wings started drooping from just like the length of the wings. It was too long, and the material they used would kind of like bow. And so just for like 2 or 3 days in the wings up position, they started to bow.
That sucks.
So I have the Drogon coming, and the Drogon is designed to be like sort of like he's on the ground pose.
Okay.
And McFarlane just released a video that shows him in the air, and it looks terrible because it's like designed to be on the ground.
I
But
actually
at
haven't
least,
even looked at it.
yeah, go ahead and pull it up. But at least the Drogon, like the way his wings are, I think the wingspan is shorter, so the wings are gonna be closer to the body. It just feels like they're gonna be more supported. So, I think this is a cool figure if you're gonna keep it in the wings flapped pose. But if you're trying to do like a spread eagle type of deal, I think you're gonna be disappointed. So a little disappointing for me, but I still think it was somewhat worth the money. I think the sculpting is really good. I think it displays well. I also got my ODST back, which we'll
Hell
talk
yeah.
about at the end of the show in Custom Corner. This thing has been around the world basically in 80 days. And I'm just really glad to have it back. It's one of those things that it's been on my collection since the week before Thanksgiving, and I've missed it ever since. And
I don't think I've ever seen it. That's how long this thing's been
Yeah,
out.
yeah, yeah,
Like,
so-
I've never met him in person.
Well, there you go. His name is Frank.
Hey, there you
and
go.
not
Hello,
sure what his
Frank.
name is the rookie. But so yeah, I'm really excited to have this back. I sent it to Galactic Warfighters. Check out his Instagram. He took like 3 or 4 really good pictures with it over the course of that time, along with other cool things he was shooting. And I still need to repair just a few parts of it. When it shipped back, he had really put it through its paces, and I told him like, don't worry about what you're going to do to the figure. Like anything that you break, like I can probably fix. And he really took it to task to get some really cool photos. So I'm just glad to have it back. And the last thing that I picked up this week was actually a pre-order. It was the Iron Man Mark 50, and that's the Hot Toys 6 scale figure. And I really wasn't going to pre-order this figure, but I had a $25 in rewards points, which is not that much, but it's just kind of what I got from King Kong. And I think Sideshow did like a few end of the year free coupon code things that you can add them to your wallet. And it was interesting because maybe about a month ago, right when the Mark 85 came out, Sideshow sent out a $25 coupon, and it expired like in a week. And I was really tempted to pre-order the Mark 85, but I was like, no, I really want to see what the Mark 85 does in in-game versus what the Mark 50 did in Infinity War. And I was this close to pressing the pre-order button because you can use that coupon with the rewards points, which is pretty rare, but I decided not to. And the coupon expired, and that was pretty much the end of it. This week, I had asked some people in the groups if they had a spare coupon, and one guy responded, but when I went to check my wallet, which Sideshow allows you to kind of like bank coupon codes, and you know, like you have them until they expire, there was a coupon code in there, and it expired yesterday. So I never got like a mailer, I never got an email that I had a coupon, I haven't ordered anything since Christmas. So I don't know, like I know I checked my wallet and there was nothing in there like a few weeks ago, and there was on Sunday. So I'm kind of curious. I mean, I did put it out there if anyone had a coupon code, and I know obviously being internationally famous, maybe Sideshow hooked a brother up, but I did pre-order the Mark 50, and it was a weird coupon because again, I could use my rewards on it. So I got $50 off of the Mark 50, brought it down to $357, and I have an on-payment plan, so hopefully, you know, I can get it sooner rather
I mean, it's getting released, it already got released in China, right?
Hong Kong.
Hong Kong?
Mm-hmm.
It's in China,
It's a different thing.
right?
Yeah, they're still
like,
oh,
fighting
really?
about it.
Oh, damn, okay, sorry, I'm gonna get roasted now.
Political weekly.
Uh,
Politics weekly.
yeah, so when does it come out here?
So that's the thing, like it could come out tomorrow. Like, you know, it's probably on a boat, and whenever it clears customs and Sideshow gets it. And, you know, like we mentioned in Grinds My Gears a few weeks ago, in theory I could get this before someone who ordered it day one, just because that's how Sideshow's distribution is.
That's so weird.
You know, so as soon as I'm doing a collection shakeup, which we'll talk about later, but as soon as I get the money, I'm gonna switch it to full pay.
Yeah.
So,
Nice.
and my wife was like totally on board with it.
Dude, there's so many figures I want to pre-order, but I'm like, well, then I'm gonna be spending like $200 a month on
Yeah.
orders.
I think I got,
Yeah, so kind of a
Hellboy.
busy week for me.
what else? Thanos is going up next. And then I'm still thinking about Cat. I don't know.
Dude, I kind of want.
Because now I know the 2 accessories that it might be.
Well, hang on, let's
Well,
not spoil anything.
Yeah.
No, no, no.
Uh,
Well, I'm just
so
saying.
new pre-orders. Speaking of Captain America, 274 buys you an in-game Captain America. There are 2 unannounced accessories, which you know you guys can guess what they might be. Kind of not a huge fan of the price point, you know, depending on what those 2 accessories might be.
Yeah.
But you could get Civil War Cap for $225, which a lot of people say is the epitome of perfection.
I mean,
$251.
could, not anymore.
Well, you know what I mean, like for retail.
Yeah.
$251 bought you an Infinity War cap and a concept art cap. Or I'm sorry, or a concept art cap. Now, like I said, there are some accessories that are not shown, so maybe they'll justify the price point with those accessories.
It sounds like they will, but I will say this: it's got 2 head sculpts and 3 swappable face sculpts instead of just 2.
Mm-hmm.
So already.
Is it worth $50 though? $224 for Civil War cap. You got plenty of mouth plates
I mean,
and a die-cast shield, because this shield doesn't say that it's die-cast, and we know how much Hot Toys likes to brag about the die-cast. So plastic shield, 1 extra faceplate for $50 more bucks.
Maybe the
versus a die.
other one
So
might
yeah, let me. We'll talk about that later.
I don't see them not being diecast.
That's what they've said. They always make it a point to show you when something's diecast, and they haven't said that this is diecast. Everyone that I know
Has
that's
a cap
I
come
think
without
a
a
lot-
diecast shield?
I think the
several
concept
have.
one
Yeah, concept cap, because it had 2 shields.
had 2 shields.
Oh, did it?
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, Black Widow 235, both of those come out April to June 2020. A third-party Captain Miller from Saving
Oh,
Private
that
Ryan
one's really cool.
is up on TNS. Looks fantastic. 160 buys you that figure.
How's the face go? I didn't look at it. up
Pretty
close.
decent. Pretty decent. It's not 100%, but for third-party, like, you really can't complain too much for 160.
Oh, no.
3-0 has shown. Well, I guess yeah, comparing to Sensation, the bar is pretty high.
Well,
You know what I mean?
yeah. Well, so 190 is the body and the suit.
Wait, what?
Well, I was talking about.
160 is the Captain Miller.
Oh, 160. So that
Yeah.
goes with the entire outfit and the head.
Yeah, it's a whole figure.
Oh,
It's
okay.
like the guns, the the pistol, the
Okay.
grenades, the boots. Like
Nice.
it's a whole thing. The Mark 50 reissue is coming out, which is
Okay.
kind of a weird thing.
Yeah, what is this?
The Mark 50 reissue.
I know. I'm saying, what is
Okay,
it?
so Hot Toys updated their post from March of last year and edited in the word like this is a reissue. Apparently in Hong Kong, all the Mark 50s have dried up already.
Wow.
After in-game, like the Infinity War hype and just like the in-game hype in general, people want, because the next Iron Man's not going to be out for like a year. The
Right.
figure.
They-
People wanted the Mark 50, so with the accessories set coming out, like they're like, you know what, we're going to make a reissue, which is pretty rare. The fact that they actually formally announced it was even rarer. So
Yeah, I mean, I can only think of Anakin that they've reissued.
Obi, Han Solo, Chewbacca, I think maybe Luke.
Okay.
It's been a while. It's certainly rare when it happens.
Yeah.
500 figures, like probably less than a dozen, have been reissued.
Nice.
So that's really neat. And then of course like the weird plastic Mark 6s, things like that. But this is actually a diecast figure. 3-0 has shown a Joffrey, King Joffrey from Game of Thrones, from his with his kingly outfit, and it kind of brings me to a question that I want to ask you guys. Have you guys ever purchased a figure that for a character that you didn't love to either complete a display or complete a shelf or to complete a collection? I've done it once when I purchased Vision from you. I wasn't a huge Vision fan, but I really wanted to have like more Civil War stuff. And actually, I've also done with Superman. I'm not a huge Superman fan, and I got the BVS Superman because I had the armored Batman.
Yeah.
So this Joffrey is somewhat tempting because I have a Tywin, and it would be a fantastic
That'd be
addition to that shelf. Have you guys ever purchased anything like that?
I don't think so. You know what? No, I haven't because I got in trouble with one of my friends one time. He's like, "You need to buy this one." I'm like, "Yeah, but I don't want it." He's like, "Yeah, but you have all the other ones." I'm like, "Yeah, but I don't want it." He's like, "But you need to complete the set." I'm like, "But I don't want it."
Mm-hmm.
Like, it doesn't matter. Because I don't collect to sell things. I collect because I want them. And if I don't want it, I'm not going to get it.
Yeah.
So, no, to answer your question.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm really picky about what I choose, and I've really only picked the characters that I just resonate with
Right.
and I like.
Mm-hmm.
Even
If they're part of a larger set, it doesn't really matter to me.
Yeah, even with your statues, you've not bought one or two just because like,
Yeah, like the Sonic Generation statue from First Four Figures, I skipped that one just because I didn't really like the design, but I can't really think of an instance where I deliberately just
You had to get it.
impulsively bought another character.
I wouldn't
just
say it
'cause-
impulsively, that I've ever bought anything impulsively to complete a set, but just like, like this figure's
thinking
weird by
it's
itself.
gonna be really cool.
Yeah, together, and then
And
I've
then-
never regretted it. Like they looked cool, but I only bought them because it was like it would be cool to go with this character.
Yeah,
I
I'm
mean-
kind of in that boat.
Because that's how I feel about the 3-0 Carter from Reach. It would be really cool with this ODST,
Oh, okay.
but it's a terrible figure,
Yeah.
from what I've heard.
Yeah,
Allegedly.
I can't
most
think of-
3-0 Halo figures are not very good.
Yeah. What about you, Jesse?
I've never even completed a set that I liked.
I was like, he barely has figures.
Yeah, I
You
just
just
started,
started.
so no. Not
Shots fired.
No,
that's
so,
honest.
like,
New releases, the Justice League Aquaman has come out, and a lot of people are very upset about this figure's release.
it looks weird.
There's a huge gap in the midsection, and in the prototype it was really flush, and people were very upset.
It looked like a Mezco. Does that make sense?
It kind of did.
And I didn't even click on it. I was like, oh, it's just a Mezco Aquaman. And then I was like, wait a minute, that says Hot Toys. And then I looked at it, and I was like, the knees look kind of wonky, and the elbows look kind of weird. And then, like you said, that huge ab
Yeah.
articulation. I was like,
I wonder if they
what
did
is
that.
this?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I really had to click in and know that I was looking at a Hot Toys picture. It was weird.
Yeah. So
To make people wait this long and then just to have it look like that.
The real
I
question
think the
is, where
sculpt is
Simon?
great.
Yeah.
I thought it was
Sculpt looks fantastic.
I thought it was weird that they went with sculpted hair
Uh huh.
because he has so much. I figured they kind of would have gone the Wonder Woman route.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's a lot of hair. I feel like it's gonna get in the
Yeah.
way.
It's a lot of hair on the shoulders.
Yeah. I think sculpted hair looks better.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought they would go, but I guess since he has a beard, then they'd have like sculpted versus rooted would look weird.
Yeah.
So I could.
It's
see why
a
they
it's a
did
slippery
it.
slope.
Yeah. It looked weird. I didn't like it.
Bringing it back real quick to in-game cap, there is a hashtag within the community. There's an
Oh.
outrage. Hashtag for Captain.
Yeah.
People are very upset that this in-game Captain America has a reused head sculpt.
Uh-huh.
And they're voicing their displeasure on every post on Instagram and Facebook that Hot Toys has with the hashtag for Captain hashtag. So I guess if you're disappointed and you want to, and I think this is great, honestly, because
Hey, it works
if
with
people
stashes.
if
It works.
people don't like what they see, let it be known. You know, like I bitch and moan every week about prices, and I let it be known, and nothing has happened because we're boring and don't listen to us. But hashtag for Captain is gaining some traction, and almost every post I see has that.
I think
thing.
it's fair to have the ability to voice concerns about that because it does seem pretty lazy.
Yeah, because we as a community, there was a huge outrage when the Batfleck Batman was announced many
Mhm.
years ago, aka Fat Man, and they fixed it and it looked fantastic. So people are hoping that through this campaign, changes will be made, and we will
Yeah,
update you guys
'cause-
if they are.
Because Cap, Chris Evans is a very handsome man, and he hasn't really aged that much, but his hair is totally different. So
Exactly.
it's like you can't get away with the sculpt.
It's almost like Tony Stark with the Mark 50. Like the hair just doesn't look like it's not the right color. He doesn't really look. He looks a little aged.
especially with the Mark 85. I'm concerned because now he's 5 years older, so his hair's a lot more, like what do you call it? Sorry, spoiler.
Minor spoiler.
Minor
You can cut that out.
I feel like people that listen to us, they've seen it.
Dude, it's already made like $2 billion. Like,
Yeah.
How many more
like the
people are
odds
not
of somebody having not seen it is pretty low.
I'll probably edit it out. But
Okay, anyway, he's a much older Tony Stark. So if they just use the same head sculpt again from the Mark 50 to this one, I'll be upset.
No, it's a different head sculpt.
Is it for the Mark 85?
Yeah,
I
I'm just
haven't
gonna cut
seen
this
it.
whole segment out.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's a different head sculpt. So let's get back to some new stuff. Zensation Collectibles has a poll on their page where they said that the release was so well received of their Advisor collectible that they're looking into Oberyn Martell, the Onion Knight, Joffrey, Tormund, Melisandre, and Littlefinger, and they're giving the community a chance to vote with which one they'd like. For me personally, I personally think that Tormund is probably going to get made by 3-0. He's such a huge character in the show. I feel like Littlefinger or the Onion Knight would be a really good pick because those are background characters that I don't think will ever get made with the way that 3-0 is doing their selection process. Dean, which one of these would you like to see made most?
Okay, Tormund is arguably my favorite character on the show.
Okay.
My favorite is Arya, but Tormund's like, he's right up there. I love Tormund.
Yeah.
But like you said, the chances of him getting made by 3-0 are pretty high.
Yeah.
So I would prefer a Sir Davos Seaworth, the Onion
Hell
Knight.
yeah.
He's like the Ron Swanson of
Fantastic.
Game of Thrones. So he's just an awesome character. I've loved him since like day one.
Yeah, and Joffrey was kind of interesting because the day that they had put this thread up, 3-0 showed their preview.
Oh,
and
really?
their Joffrey was in a different outfit. It was in like the gold black outfit that he wears.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting to see if maybe they'll take Joffrey off and put another character in for consideration.
Yeah, I can't
They
believe
did say that they
anybody
wanted.
would make Joffrey.
I can. I mean, they're making Cersei and they made Jamie. And then,
Cersei's a cool character.
well, they made
I
a
can't
season
think
one
of a
Jamie.
single person who's like, Joffrey's really cool. Do you know anybody that would honestly buy it?
I should.
I might buy it because it's going to go good on my title.
Yeah, but not because you think the character's great, because you're going to complete a show.
I don't know. I'm just like I don't.
Your
make
question
look,
was, have you ever
look,
bought a
this
character you
is
don't
the
like
company.
just to complete
This
a
is the
job?
company that made a $1,500 dragon statue that's not even scaled to the correct size. So anything is fair game at this
That's
point.
true.
Dean, you wanted to talk about Bring Arts.
Yeah. It's kind of my favorite line at
Yes.
the moment.
I'm excited about this one.
Yeah. So Bring Arts Final Fantasy IX characters.
Huh?
They announced them a while back, and they were just pictures at a display. It was like,
I'm
hey,
excited.
we're gonna make these characters. I was like, oh shit, okay, cool. In fact, they had a poll on their Facebook. It was like, hey, what other characters from the game would you like to see? Kind of like 3-0 is doing. So I was like, oh damn, we have to pick.
Yeah,
Like-
we had to pick between Cujo or Beatrix.
Which,
Mhm.
you know, it's hard.
It's hard, yeah.
And it's like, oh shit, okay, well. And then they announced a couple more figures at the next, whatever, probably a Comic-Con or whatever.
Yeah.
And then at the last Comic-Con, I guess it was New York, was the last one?
Probably, I think so. Yeah.
They had prototypes of the first two figures.
Uh huh.
They're just in gray plastic,
Yeah.
look amazing.
These.
Fantastic.
Yes,
Yes,
those
that's
are the
them.
exact ones.
Okay.
Wait, Sean.
They each come with like 3 head sculpts, which is
So-
now 6 head sculpts in the
So,
box. They're sold as a set together.
so this look to them, is that how they look in the game, or is this like a cos baby where it's like styled?
No, that's how they look in the game.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, I'm not that familiar with
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Final Fantasy
They look like
9 is-
Nindroids and stuff.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
that's what I
Final
was
Fantasy 9 is very
styled.
yeah.
I'll look it up real quick.
Anyway, so you get 3 head sculpts each, so 6 head sculpts in the box. They're sold as a set. He has how many weapons?
He has ultimate weapon, his daggers,
Like 2 sets of daggers.
yeah. Then
Uh,
he has, let's see, several different hands,
Oh,
obviously.
I know about this game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
Dagger comes with her short hair, which is like
oh,
awesome.
she comes with 6 head sculpts by herself.
Yeah, she does. She has, different expressions, different hair.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I'm super excited about them. I ordered them within, I don't know, a minute of them
So how
being
much
live.
is this set?
It was after shipping. It was $160 because I got them on sale.
Oh, okay.
160. You get 2 figures, a hell of a ton of accessories. So they announced the pre-order. They put them up, full res pictures of the product,
Mhm.
and like I don't know, 2 weeks later they announced all the characters. So how many characters are there?
All of them. Like literally, there's
Zidane, Garnet, Steiner, Vivi, Freya, Quina,
Hey.
Amaranth, Kuja, Beatrix, Quina, and Aiko.
Oh, that's a lot of characters.
basically all the main cast.
Oh, I don't think I said Steiner. So 12. I think it's 12 characters. Because each box has the potential to sell 2.
Yeah, I think they're
Yeah.
gonna sell them all in groups of 2. I think
That's a
that's
good
how
thing,
they're gonna
man.
do
Yeah,
it.
it's a good
Okay.
thing.
Okay, I wasn't sure
Um,
where you were going with this.
I mean, it's kind of lame because let's just say there's a character you don't particularly want, but they're boxed with the character you do want. Then you have to spend the extra money on one character. But I want them all anyway because they're all really great characters.
Mhm.
But it kind of came out of nowhere. It's like, oh, by the way, all the characters are coming out. And so it's just kind of like, hell yeah, I don't have to pick anymore. A few of them weren't painted, but I guess they just wanted to get it out there. Like, hey, everybody,
Yeah.
here you go. So we're super
I guess
excited
pre-order
about that.
for like Rocket High that they were like, let's fucking make all
Yeah, because Final Fantasy IX has been historically underrated.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, I agree.
It's just not, like, people just don't talk about it that much.
Dean will be the first one to tell you that I will never shut up about Final Fantasy IX being the best. We are constantly bickering about it, but
Yeah.
I actually played the game through for him to witness it.
Yeah, she would just come over every night and play Final Fantasy IX, and I just sit there and watch. Like, But like, I would make the decision. She's like, "What do you want to do?" I was like, "I don't know. What's the best option for me?"
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really cool. That game's super underrated, and these figures are gonna be super cool. Bring Arts is really really tiny scale, so these figures are only about like maybe 5 inches tall. So the price is also a little kind of like, ugh, but you get so much that as a collector, we'll get into this in a minute. About prices and stuff. So I
Yeah.
won't talk too much about it right now. But
Cool. So Manny's not here, but being that there was such a tremendous film that came out, I feel like it's appropriate in his honor to host a Rate the Flicks.
and we already know it's
And,
really anything.
let's just give number scores.
Yeah.
Dean, what do you say?
Oh, easily. If I don't look too much into things, 10 out of 10.
Deanie?
I agree. Fantastic.
Yeah,
Jesse?
10.
Now, for me, my first watch, I left the theater like an 8 out of 10, and it had nothing to do with the film. I sat next to this guy.
Oh.
He showed up after the opening scene, like right when the Avengers like credits, I guess, opening credits were
Yeah.
shown, with the in-game logo.
Yeah, after like 5 minutes.
He
of
walked, yeah,
watching.
about 5-10 minutes. He walks in, and I'm like, okay, that's annoying, but you know, I don't really care about the title. I know what the movie's called already. And the whole movie, his phone was out, and him and his girlfriend were Snapchatting, like, you know, like taking screenshots or recording certain parts of the movie. Super annoying. And then he kept getting phone calls that he needed to walk out for, and it just totally ruined my experience. Him constantly getting up, and
Yeah.
it's one of those theaters where there's like one armrest between two seats, and you kind of have to split it 50-50. But because his phone was there, you know, it's a long movie. You don't want to be a dick
Yes,
and then have to sit next to
3
someone
hours.
simmering for 3 hours. I'm an angel. I just wanted to have a good time, and like I said, I left feeling not super great about the movie. Second showing was with a much better crowd. You know, probably worse seats, but because we bought the tickets last minute. But my wife and I went. The crowd was great. Fantastic film. 10 out of 10. It was a fantastic.
That
movie.
almost happened to us. Like, Karen was sitting next to these dudes that wouldn't shut up through the previews
Uh-huh.
and would make comments to get people's reaction. And then, like, the movie's about to start, and I was like, yeah, I'll switch seats with you. So if he talks, I'm just going to put my hand on his lap and tell him to shut the fuck up. Because I'm not going to sit, like you said, 3 hours in a movie.
Jesse's a big dude, so.
Yeah, and these are fucking kids. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to fucking beat them. I don't care. Like, she always sits next to, like, the worst people, and I feel so bad for her because, like, I'm like, I just picked the seats, I sat down. I don't know why you would sit next to the assholes, but no, they, like, the second the scream went black and it started, they were quiet.
Oh,
Because I was like,
This was one of
Mhm.
the first times in a long time that at the end of a movie there was an applause.
yeah, that happened to us
Has-
too.
I don't think I've seen that in a long time. Maybe ever.
I
I can't recall the last time that that's happened for me.
I think that happened for me I think it was one of the Star Wars movies.
And I'm not saying like a few people, but I'm talking like thunderous applause.
Yeah, they, like, people
You know,
stood up.
As the
and
movie
clapped.
ended?
No, like, you know, when the credits start,
Okay.
like thunderous applause.
Oh.
Because everyone knew.
You
that
guys didn't
they're-
have, no, that's
You guys
weird.
didn't have that?
I had
I
it on
was
the sub.
clapping during the movie. But
Oh no, my crowd was so hyped. They were like in any of the big scenes, cheers, you know, in the sad scenes, dead silent, in the funny scenes, laughter.
Wait, Cap? No, just
At the end of the movie, just thunder. It was fantastic. I really had a good time with my second
the
show.
first showing, yes, people were clapping. When it ended, there was no like, yay, encore, or whatever. We saw it was kind of an empty theater, and there was no.
What?
The
What
last time,
It
the
was
la-
Monday night.
Oh,
yesterday.
okay, well then, yeah.
the last time I clapped at a movie, it was Mandy, and it was just me and him in the theater. There was no one
Mandy
else.
was a fucking amazing movie.
Great.
No,
Yeah.
we.
Manny also gave the film a 10 out of 10 on his Rate the Flicks Instagram.
Go follow Manny at Rate the Flick. Shout out Manny. Shout
Yeah.
out
I was
DJ
telling
Manny.
everyone at work that's seen it, and even Karen, I was like, this is our Star Wars. Like, when people are like, no, when the theater, you didn't know, like, Vader and this and that. Like, this is, like, our Star Wars.
I think it's
People will
even-
be talking about for decades.
Yeah, I think it's
We're
even
living it right now.
more significant because
Oh, yeah.
it's been.
Well, this
How
is
long
10
have-
years.
Yes, 10 years of like just
Culmination
building
of
up
video,
to
or
this.
Maybe, but the thing is like,
Yeah.
like in.
Culturally
I'm not
significance?
saying.
No.
I would say that we shouldn't compare the two. I don't think they need to be compared, but In-Game has done something fantastic, where they had 22 movies with almost the same cast throughout. I think that Rhodey was recasted.
Rhodey and the Hulk. That's
And the
it.
Hulk, yeah. And Star Wars completely changed the way that movies were made.
Yeah.
And not saying that Endgame hasn't, but I don't think that's like a great comparison. But I
Yeah,
get what you're
it's
saying.
like
Like, this is a
culturally
insane
significant.
movie because for a lot of people's lives, like this has been their big thing. Like, what has it been? 13 years since 2006 was when Iron Man 1 came out.
Yeah, I think so.
That's a significant amount of time. Like people that are 20 probably live their whole lives in this era.
Watching Iron Man.
Mm-hmm.
But for us, like, we just seen a lot of superhero movies even before this. Like Spider-Man, the
Spider-Man,
Fantastic
Freak
Four,
That's
all
true,
that
yeah.
stuff. So I'm not saying that it's not significant,
League.
but we live in we grew up and it was like there was not superhero movies, and then all of a sudden in like 1999, 2000 with Spider-Man 1, it was like nothing but.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I feel like in a way you're right, but in a way like to say some things like Star Wars is like a huge.
Well, not I
deal.
want to say like Star Wars, but I'm saying like
I would agree
way,
that
like,
this generation Star Wars for sure, but not like
Yeah.
not as good as Star Wars.
Yeah, 'cause Star
Obviously.
Wars literally. You said change the way people make movies. Literally, Industrial Light and Magic
Yeah.
has literally had their hand in almost every movie you could think of,
Mhm.
and
And they still do.
that's
like,
a branch
and
of
with like CG and
Lucasfilm,
stuff.
Yeah. Like Transformers, that's all Industrial Light and Magic.
Mhm.
Like
Kudos to
Pixar,
them.
Industrial
Jeez.
Light and Magic. Like
Yeah.
it's insane. Like yeah, culturally, yeah, it's this generation Star Wars. But yeah, to say something, I agree.
You
with
get what I'm
that.
saying? Like
Yeah.
I'm not discounting that it's a fantastic
Mhm.
film, but it's like there will still be more superhero movies made with this formula.
Right.
Like and for Star Wars, it's like I don't think any movie will capture that magic the way that Star Wars did.
No, yeah, the original trilogy. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there's-
Well, episode
Yeah.
8 was fantastic. I'm just kidding.
I was about to like spit in your face right now.
There was also a trailer that came on
Oh.
the internet today.
Yeah, this is
Oh.
kind
Yeah,
of fun for me and my
I'm
sister.
trying to lose some weight, so I was on the treadmill when I was watching this trailer, and I had to stop and put my feet on the rails to and I had to rewind it. Like, what did I just watch? Sonic the Hedgehog trailer. This might actually
Be
take
the-
the cake for the worst film idea / the worst film of all time.
I will say
I'm
this. Let me.
What do you think?
Teeny over here on my right is one of the biggest Sonic fans I know
Easily.
that doesn't get perverted. There's some weird fans out there, guys.
Very weird.
I'm a big Sonic fan. I love Sonic. He's been my favorite.
I grew up playing the video game
He's
of Sonic.
been literally one of my favorite characters growing up.
Had
Rock
it for
44
Sega.
slush. I mean,
Ever.
Yeah.
they got it all.
Yeah. The first thing I really collected, other than like Star Wars toys, was Sonic dolls, like the little plushies.
Mm-hmm.
I think I
That's
have
true.
Like,
You have a ton of
I
them.
think I
yeah.
have like 8 of them.
Yeah.
Damn.
I love the character. So seeing this trailer is pretty heartbreaking. The song was an odd choice.
It's very weird for Sonic. It makes no sense.
I
to me.
will say his character design isn't as awful as I thought it was gonna be.
No man, it's bad. You can
It's
say it's
pretty bad.
It's
Did you say it's bad?
It could have been.
His
more.
proportions are what makes it really bad.
Yeah, I think so.
The one thing that I don't get is, and I watched this trailer and I didn't know what I was supposed to feel. I don't know what they were. I just don't know. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, why does everything have to be about saving the world? Why can't a hedgehog just go chase some golden coins? Like every movie is about
Because
saving.
he's gotta stop Robotnik. He's gotta save the world.
I mean, is that the plot of the game?
Yeah.
Like, okay, when I was a kid, I just was collecting
Well,
coins.
see, in the games, he
He
what they call it,
roboticizes animals and turns them into slaves.
That's why at the end of every stage, you jump on that little thing and the little birds come out.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
it's
And
turning
the
them into
squirrels and-
robots.
Oh, okay. So is this true to the
Huh.
game though? I guess from what
I
you've
don't-
seen.
From what I see,
No.
no, because
They also gave him the Quicksilver power, where he could stop time.
Oh yeah.
I thought that was odd. He's not that fast.
no, he's not.
He can only break the sound barrier, so...
Well, unless he's supersonic, he can technically go the speed of light.
Oh, okay.
I'm just
Then
saying.
I guess he could, but he's not supersonic in that scene.
No, he's not, and he probably won't go supersonic in that movie.
Well, shit,
as far as
I don't know. They probably will do that.
I mean,
I will say this. I don't hate Jim Carrey.
Jim
I think he
Carrey-
I
might
thought
be
it was
like
kind
a
of cool.
redeeming quality.
And then at the end, when he's like fully bald and he puts on the goggles, I was like, now that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, that's what we need. I
Uh,
thought his characterization in a couple of the scenes in the trailer was a little off because
Mhm.
Robotnik's not really like an obnoxious, sarcastic kind of dude. Like
Right.
he's funny, like
Yeah.
as far as mad scientists go.
I
But
will say this, and you might agree with me, Deanie. I don't need the same shit spoon fed to me day after day.
yes,
If they want to take some liberties, that's fine. If Jim Carrey is a regular ass dude, kind of as Robotnik, like, alright, I'll give it a shot at least. If I don't like it, I don't like it. Am I boycotting this movie? No. Am I gonna probably see it in theaters? Probably not. I don't think so. I'm in a weird spot with it.
yeah. I
It's
feel like
Sonic.
I feel like this. Okay,
Redbox it.
I don't know
Or
how.
torrent it, at
If
least.
anyone watching or listening is familiar with the controversy that erupted when they announced Sonic Boom and the
Oh,
character
the cartoon
redesigns,
show.
like that character redesign now seems like God's gift in comparison to what they've done to Sonic. in
Yeah,
this
so
movie.
in
Yeah,
Sonic
they gave him
Boom,
teeth in
Teeth,
that trailer.
Human teeth,
in,
weird human teeth.
in Sonic Boom, he's real tall. His arms are blue,
Mhm.
which is
He wears an Afghan.
technically it makes sense. His arms are blue if his legs are blue.
Yeah, I mean, I can live with that.
But he has he has gloves, but they're like in like arm wraps.
Yeah.
But he's a lot taller.
Mhm.
And yeah, people were losing their fucking minds. Like, how could they do this to Sonic? And I remember thinking like, ew, I don't like this.
And for anyone who's listening, like the show is funny.
Dude.
Like they had writers from South Park in there.
The show is
Ryan
actually
Flynn.
hilarious.
It's
Wow.
funny. Like that show is legitimately good, and I feel like it redeems the concept of redesigning Sonic for
Or
like
even
a
Knuckles.
different audience.
Knuckles has fingers.
Oh yeah, Knuckles. He's a little different.
Now this movie, I like the voice actor. I
Mhm.
didn't hate it. It's not offensive to the ears.
No, not at all.
That's about as good as I. Eggman,
It's
okay,
just jarring.
the voice.
Yeah, it's jarring and creepy is my problem right now.
Yeah, it's
because
a
he
little-
just doesn't really.
Especially when they have Detective Pikachu coming out.
Yeah,
and
and
they
it's so
knock
cute.
Pokemon
Yeah,
out of the park.
park. Yeah.
It's like you could have something that
And it feels
cartoony and
real
that
too.
real.
Like the Pokemon stuff you see,
It's
like
like,
that feels real. That thing
Why?
like seemed
Why did you do
good in
any
like
of this?
2004 maybe.
Yeah, Sonic kind of looks like those things from Thing 1 and Thing 2 from the Cat in the
Yeah.
Hat movie. Like, he's kind of creepy looking.
Yeah, he's
like,
got these like kind of gangly features. I think if his feet were bigger,
Mm-hmm.
maybe
it would offset
longer
the.
legs.
Yeah.
They should have just
shorter
went
legs.
cartoony with like Pokemon, because they kept it cartoony
Yeah.
and it worked.
And that's the thing. The tone of that trailer is very cartoony. So it's like, why didn't you just
Yeah.
extend it to the character? Why does he have to have human proportions with it?
And listening
Hedgehog
to
head.
Gangster's Paradise for some reason.
It's so
In
weird.
2009.
Like,
Yeah.
that's
Oh,
not
okay.
even, like, if you were just objectively look at Sonic the Hedgehog as a character,
Yeah.
how does that song really embody him at all? It doesn't. Like,
It's so
I'm
weird.
sorry. It just doesn't. Ugh.
It's such a wild.
Yeah, shout out Dork Dad podcast because he's the only reason I knew that trailer was coming out.
Yeah,
today.
same.
I wonder if this is going to end up like Fantasia, where people go there to watch it high because it's just that
Dude,
bad.
that's exactly what one of the guys on Angry Joe's video was saying. He's like, "This is a perfect movie to go drunk to."
Okay.
Because like
There
they
you
have
go.
to see it. That's what they do.
Oh no.
Is review
Okay.
games and movies.
And
so he's like, if I'm gonna see it, I'm going wasted.
Go to the
Yeah.
Alamo Draft House.
Let's take a quick break, and we will get into some statue news, highly requested in our listener special.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We listen to you guys.
Yes, you asked and we delivered. So let's take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Alright.
Doing good so far.
Oh, get those off my ears.
All right, Jesse, you got to talk a little bit more, buddy.
I know.
Just a little bit more.
I don't watch Game of Thrones or anything, so
Yeah, I know. I feel bad.
but it's alright. That's just the one.
Whenever you guys are ready.
I'll put my hair up.
Hey.
Okay. Colleen.
All right, we good to go?
Yeah.
And we are back. Beanie, the floor is yours.
All right. So, everyone was asking for more statue-related news.
Yeah.
And I thought a really good topic of conversation would be regarding the shipping costs, like what people can expect when they're pre-ordering statues and maybe thinking of getting into the hobby. I've got a couple examples for you today that I've taken note of, specifically with Prime One. Oops, sorry. Recently, about a month ago, I think, I pre-ordered their 1/3 scale guts from Berserk.
Sure.
She loves Berserk, guys.
Yeah.
Yes, I love Berserk.
I think you
Let's
mentioned
get
that
out.
last time that she was.
She mentions
Absolutely.
it every time she talks to anybody.
Yes. He's approximately 40 inches tall, in a certain pose at least. Shipping from Japan, directly from Prime One. Now this was, again, about a month or so ago. His shipping was $291 to the US. So typically when you're talking about statues from Prime One, pretty common that it was pushing 300 or above, depending on where you live in the United States.
Especially the size of these statues.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this guy, as I mentioned, $291 to ship. My Griffith was, again, around $300 to ship.
Now, Griffith is in
Yeah, it's
three
crazy 'cause
boxes?
Griffith might be in 2.
2 boxes.
It's
It's
crazy because
not
it
that
takes me a
big.
good minute to like save up for something, and that's just shipping.
Yeah,
So-
that's just shipping. Now the good news is that Prime One is just introduced as of April 19th, economy shipping in the United States. They've been playing around with the idea of a warehouse in the United States to reduce the cost of shipping when ordering from here. So when I pre-ordered Zod, his standard shipping rate to the United States from Japan was $1,500.
God damn.
A
Yes.
third of the.
The most expensive thing I've ever
Basically
committed
half.
to is $750.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was $1,500.
I mean, almost like it'd be cheaper for you to fly over there and pick it up yourself, enjoy a vacation.
Carry it on the
Yeah,
plane.
get it, put it in the buff. This
Rent a
one.
seat for it and then come
Yeah,
back.
exactly. That's wild.
Yeah, absolutely wild. And it just so happened the gods were smiling upon me because on the 19th, before pre-orders opened, they introduced economy shipping. So difference, of course, is the price. You have generally with standard shipping, it takes them about a month, up to a month to ship it to you.
Uh-huh.
And then once they ship it, it takes about a week or 2 to get it,
Right.
with tracking and all that. With economy shipping, it could take up to 3 months to ship it, but the cost is significantly less. I was able to ship Zod and all 142 pounds of him to my house for $486
Oh
in
wow,
comparison.
that's a huge difference.
So about $1,000 less.
So you said the difference
That's
was
another figure.
3
That's-
months, and you said it. Is that the difference for them to physically ship it, or
Yes.
the transit time,
No, that's to physically
like a
ship
handling
it.
time, I guess?
Yes, it's basically like they're gonna take their time shipping
God,
it
they're
because
really
they're gonna
taking their
get
time.
yeah they're gonna get everyone else's orders out before yours. Basically, they're just gonna take their
Interesting.
sweet time.
I feel like with something like that, most people aren't gonna pay the $1,500.
I feel like at that
No, no,
point,
no.
everyone's
You're just
in the
gonna
economy.
get the good shipping anyway.
It was
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was trying to
Everyone's-
say. Like, what are they doing for 3
With
months?
something like this, yeah, maybe with like I don't know a Superman statue that only costs $700.
yeah.
They would,
Okay.
oh, I'll just pay the $300 shipping or whatever.
Yeah, I don't. I'll kind of get into this in a minute. The benefits of buying from Prime One, or even like First Four Figures, whoever you're gonna buy statues from directly, as opposed to a third party company.
Uh-huh.
Now, again, as far as the cost of the shipping is concerned, one of the things you have to worry about is if you're from a country that has like VAT fees.
Oh,
You're
yeah,
probably gonna get screwed. People from Australia
Yeah.
that I speak to have the most absurd cost of shipping that I've heard. I mean, what costs me $300, it's gonna cost them an additional $700 on top of that
What are
$300.
VAT fees?
Basically,
value
like,
added taxes.
yeah, it's like import
Oh.
fee or something.
Yeah.
Like,
That sucks.
I'm not obviously.
It's a
from-
percentage of like what they insure it for.
Yeah, like their Marvel Legends are like $40 versus our 20.
I
Yeah,
don't know about that. Are they really?
Yeah.
God damn.
That sucks.
it does suck.
That's funny you mention that because Cosplay Chris is always complaining about
Yeah, and that's what
like
he's talking
prices.
about. The price.
And then he's like, yeah, people will just like mail me stuff
Yeah.
just so I can have it.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It is crazy, and I'm obviously not from any other country but the U.S., so I can't
God
tell you
bless
specific-
America.
yeah, I can't tell you specifically how much you're gonna look at fees if you're from like Italy or Britain or
One of those
Australia.
weirdly named places.
Yeah, so as far as that's concerned, another topic of conversation was that I'd like to discuss is buying directly from a company as
Mhm.
opposed to Sideshow. Now, I want to preface this by saying Sideshow is a really cool company. I know a lot of people who buy from them and love them. So this isn't knocking on them as a company. They're obviously reliable, but I think for statues, you really should consider not buying from companies like Sideshow for a couple of reasons. One, guaranteed their shipping costs are actually always going to be significantly less. For instance, most people who bought the 1/3 sale guts, instead of paying $300 for shipping, were about $100 through Sideshow. The problem is that lately, as far as talk goes on the forums that I visit,
I think I know where you're about to say.
yeah, the replacing
Yep.
broken statues.
Yep.
All emails that I've seen that are screen capped kind of point to a general laziness on their part to honor any sort of repairs to the products. Even when Prime 1 specifically instructs them to send out replacement parts,
Yeah.
they're just like, you can either take, up to $50 discount, or you can return.
So yeah, so essentially people are having broken statues arriving and Sideshow's saying
We
Yeah,
don't
that's
have
not
the
our-
parts.
yeah, we don't have the parts,
We don't have the
yeah.
parts.
Even though they have the part.
Prime 1 it literally says to
typical
them.
song and dance.
Yeah, so I've not heard good things about that in terms of refunding or repairing statues. When you order directly from a company, even if it takes a while, you're going to get a replacement part for your statue. Which, by the way, if you're paying, $1,000, $2,000 for a figure, you want it to come to you without damage. I don't think
Yeah.
that's really too much to ask.
No.
Yeah.
And if you do get it damaged, you expect a company to be like, hey, this person, is paying this much, let's treat them right.
All I'm saying is if I drop $1,300 and it arrived broken and they said that, someone's gonna catch all the hands. Like, that's not okay.
Oh, I would be upset too.
That's what I was saying. Like, Sideshow's only hurting themselves.
Yeah.
They're saying fuck you to the customer just because they don't like dealing with Prime 1. It's
Yeah.
like, okay, well that person's just gonna go to Prime 1 now.
Yeah,
Yes.
when I was looking at my bat, and I'm still looking at it, the Survival Batman from Prime 1, I went straight to the website first. Like I went and just looked at what they had offered, just because it's an unknown realm for me.
Mhm.
And I was like, I don't even know if Sideshow sells it. So,
Yeah, and
And also, when you buy direct from them, sometimes there's exclusive ones that you can only get from them.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. Yeah.
So it's
Now, I think a lot of these issues that I've been seeing recently stem from the fact that Prime 1 is kind of moving towards a U.S. warehouse, so they can ship directly to you without dealing with Sideshow, and I don't think they've quite appreciated that. In fact, a lot of Prime 1's newest releases, they're not even showing up as pre-orders on their website even weeks later. They're just not adding new products to their website. So that has kind of perturbed a lot of
yeah, because
statue
I noticed
collectors.
they had some stuff, but I didn't see that one after I went searching
Mhm.
on their website. Sideshow didn't have it, but they had other Prime 1 stuff on there.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
interesting.
It's kind of I mean, I don't know, if you have a business relationship like that where you've been selling their product for years and you throw it all away just because they're trying to make the shipping costs lower for people like me who don't want to pay $1,500 to get the statue they want. I don't.
Yeah, because then you still have customers that are either loyal to you or like the rewards programs.
Yeah.
That's
And
right.
it's like, well, I could buy from Prime One and save this much money, but if I buy from Sideshow, I'll save
I guess
this much money on my next purchase.
Right.
And they're doing rewards on Prime One now too.
Oh, hell yeah. Well, shit.
Since I
Over.
Yeah.
Yeah, game over. Sorry,
Since
my
they-
argument just got killed.
Yeah, since they started their U.S. website about a year and a half ago, I think, they've had their own rewards program. I don't know if it's better
I mean,
than
it's cool.
Sideshow.
I was gonna say, well, Sideshow sells more than just statues. I don't
Right.
know.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like, oh, I want a Hot Toys Boba Fett, or oh, I want that painting, or I want that whatever. They have brain arts now on Sideshow. I'm gonna,
There you go.
I'm gonna get Cloud with my rewards points.
Nice.
From I think I have like $40, and then I'm getting like another 20 from Obi-Wan, or like $17 or something.
Yeah.
So I'll basically get Cloud for like $20. Or
Which is
something like
awesome,
that.
yeah.
And he's like a $90 toy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's like, okay, well, you're only shooting yourself in the foot, scaring away all your customers.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why?
Yeah,
I don't know.
and just in the groups that I'm in, there's already people mass canceling orders because they don't think Sideshow's gonna bother filling them at this point. They're like, we don't have any sort of indication or statement from them saying that they're not going to just drop Prime One in a hot minute, and then we're going to get screwed because they're already sold out on Prime One's website.
That
So
sucks.
yeah, so people don't know what they're gonna do now. I
Yeah,
mean,
that sucks double because Prime or Sideshow has a non-refundable deposit.
yeah. I don't know how they're gonna deal with that.
Yeah, it's not very much, but still,
No, it is sometimes.
I guess depending on what. Usually
Yeah,
it's like
depending.
$20 to $40.
It
Oh, the
depends on
statues?
Price.
My
Yeah, I was gonna say.
my NRD for Zod was $260. I had to.
That's
put
what I'm
down-
saying.
I
Like
had
for
to put down
statues is
10%.
like, man, I don't know.
Yeah. So
Yeah, but he's also exceptionally priced.
yes. He's
$2,500.
part of their let's see, Ultimate Premium Master line.
Wow.
It's Ultimate
So
Premium.
he
So
probably
Not only is
Yeah.
it premium, it's ultimate premium. That's a good episode title.
I
That's
know.
my
Ultimate
episode
Premium?
title. Yeah, I like that.
So anyway, I guess that's all I've got like in terms of shipping. So
It sounds like a nightmare.
it does it is
Sounds like
it
a
is a
bullshit.
nightmare.
That always scares me too when I hear like
Ultimate.
statue collectors on YouTube talking about like, yeah, the shipping was like $350, and I was like, fuck.
I was so happy
Yeah,
with
he's
my
been trying to get
last.
his foot in the game for
Yeah, with my last.
You gotta find another job. That's what it is.
Yeah, I have no problem with spending $200, $300, $400 on a figure. It's just my job does.
Yeah, yeah. They're just like, hold on,
Yeah.
we don't pay you that much.
To be fair, I've been saving 2 years for Zod because I knew like 2 years ago he existed, and I was like, I
Yeah,
just
they
have to
kept
wait.
posting like teaser shots,
Teasers.
Ooh.
and he lights up.
Yeah, he does light up. You know, when you put your finger in his mouth and touch his tongue, his eyes glow. It's really cool. The buttons in there, so
Dude, his hand is like the size of a hand.
like
Oh
mine.
yeah, I saw it like a
It's
little.
Yeah.
insane.
He was originally gonna come with a giant set of wings, but they're like, we can't do this at a reasonable price. Like they're like, this is already gonna be bad, but
Does he ever look like that without wings?
yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. There's several times in the manga, for instance, where he doesn't have wings at all.
That'd be cool if they sold wings separately. Like,
That
oh,
would be cool.
like-
A lot of people said that if you had the
Magnet
option,
attachments.
yeah, we would totally go for it. But they decided that it was just not cost effective to sell
Oh yeah, I
wings.
can't imagine what he would cost with the fucking wings or the shipping.
Yeah, I personally don't like Zod with wings, so it didn't really bug me. So
I know like the Lobo figure had like the dolphin the extra, and it was like pricey as hell. I was like, oh my god, that's a lot for that. So I couldn't
Lobo's
imagine.
that guy with the chain.
Mm-hmm.
He's like blue.
He's
gray.
bluish gray. Yeah.
I don't know a lot about Lobo.
No, me neither.
Let's see, what else are we talking about right now?
I want to save it. Just like it gets clunky and then I have to save it, and then it like frees up the.
Oh, okay.
Is that the end of the statue talk?
no,
Yeah.
I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, you're good on statue talk?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Because Dean was like moving on. I was like, wait, I don't know if we're done with statue talk.
Yeah,
No, no,
I was
you're
like,
good.
I was like, what's with this?
I would have
roll?
berated him if
No,
he
no,
had
because I don't want to be
interrupted
rude.
me.
I don't want to be rude.
No, you're good. Thank
So
you.
let me.
Oh, it's
Yeah, Dean, just go back with the what is up next.
okay.
3.
All right, what's up next?
So, I feel like I've had the same collection for a while, like my main collection. And Dean, you actually remarked that you were proud of me many months ago because I really, since June, my main Star Wars collection has kind of remained untouched.
Yeah.
And with the pre-order of the Mark 50, that's an expensive figure. You know, it's a nice, clean paint figure, and I don't want it to get dusty. So I need to make some space in my cabinet for the Mark 50
Is that really a
and other
bottom
things.
shelf character?
It's not. So there's certainly more arranging I need to do. But I'm thinking of doing a collection shakeup. And live at the time of this recording, we went on break. I posted on Ox that I was selling a Death Trooper, amongst other characters. And so if you're on Ox, you want a good deal on a Death Trooper. I think it was $220 shipped, which is about $360 below eBay right now. So if you want a Death Trooper, it does have some small issues. I'd be happy to
360
discuss.
below?
They're going for like $580 right now.
Jeez.
Yeah, they're pretty pricey. I don't know if they're $580, but when I looked online, the cheapest one was like
That's a
$550.
lot.
So if you want a Death Trooper, and bonus fact, it was owned by me, Dean, and Manny's.
And Eric.
No one cares about Eric. So you know, if you want to own it, send
Did
me
he get
a
it
message.
from Cody?
He got it
No.
from Sideshow.
That's right.
And so I'm also thinking of selling my Jabba and a few other characters I'm gonna put in storage. My C-3PO and R2-D2, I think those are gonna go in storage for a little bit. But yeah, I'm feeling like a collection shakeup. There's some cool Game of Thrones things that I'd like to pick up. Now I'm really getting into Thrones again. There's the Mark 50 obviously, and maybe I'll find a way to get the endgame cap for cheap. If I sell a head sculpt or something. But there's some good stuff out there, so I really need to make some space. Not only that, but this ODST, it's been dusty its whole life, and I kind of want to be able to display it in a lit, collection. So there's, and just other characters that I have.
This
So-
thing is phenomenal, by the way. I
Yeah.
know I've looked at it a dozen times, but my sister was talking. I pulled it over here and I was like really looking at it.
Yeah.
Feeling it.
Yeah, we'll talk about it here in a second.
Dude, okay. Yeah. Oh yeah.
But,
that's right. I forgot.
I feel like a collection shakeup was in order, so I marked a few figures, and I was even thinking, like, do I need 2 Lukes? Do I need 2 Vaders? So anything and everything is on the table right now as far as cleaning house. I just want to kind of raise some funds for Rex, #FundTheRex, raise some funds for the Mark 50, and maybe put some money in my pocket for other collectibles or to pay down some things that I owe on. But so that's kind of where I'm at right now. I've just really kind of been in the same space for a long time, and I feel like it's unnatural for me. I need to kind of break the mold a little bit, So we'll see. I know the Mark 42 that I customized is also on the chopping block. Not because I don't like it, but because Justin's Collectibles, they have a video where they show all of the main suits compared to the Mark 50, and the Mark 42 is smaller than the Mark 50, and I don't know if it was the camera angle or not, but it did look pretty small. And in the video he mentions different suits have different purposes, but I feel like it kind of bothered me. So that's also could be on the chopping block. I put up a post on Ox with some maybe selling figures. So if you see anything on Auxiliary, which is our Facebook group, it's Collecting Week Auxiliary, send me a message. Maybe we can talk shop, talk some numbers. But yeah, so that's my collection shakeup. Now, last week on Grinds My Gears, I went in on this guy on Etsy. And Monday, I was fed up. I was listening, because it's weird. We record a podcast, we have this conversation, we live in the moment. But I don't know about you, but I listen to the show during the week.
Yeah.
And I was at Walmart and I was like, man, I am so annoyed that it's Monday and the item hasn't shipped. Check the tracking number. Sure enough, it's still at, preparing shipment. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna send this guy a message. I'm gonna start an Etsy claim. And for item not received. And you kind of fill out when was it supposed to ship, this and that. Just hit submit. I swear to God. Within 35, 45, less than 1 minute after I submitted the Etsy claim, this dude messaged me back. It's like, yo, what's going on? And I'm like, okay, we haven't communicated since March 2nd. I don't have my item. You have never responded to any of my messages. And I basically told him, like, look, I ordered this. It was supposed to ship April 2nd. It's April fucking 29th, 30th, whatever day we are at now. And 29th. And that's unacceptable. You know, I understand these are made to order, but, you know, if you're running late,
Just let me know.
yeah, you know. So, and he said, well, I never got your other messages, which is what Jesse was saying. But I'm like, no, like, I sent these messages. We're not, you know, this isn't the dark ages.
Right.
IT doesn't have a spam filter.
It's
you know
not
what I mean?
like I sent a Raven north.
Yeah.
The Raven got eaten on the way.
How many messages is this guy getting that he lost my message? He's like, look, and he's like attempted to prove to me that he didn't get my message by showing me a screenshot of his search for my last name, but no messages. If he could just delete a message and send a screenshot like that. Now he said that he dropped it off. He's like, and it was odd what he said. He's like, I dropped it off, but I'm gonna check on it for you. What does that even mean? And so, and he's like, you know, it's a really bad look for me to have this claim because anyone going to buy the item can see that there's a case open, which I don't believe that that's true. But he's like, here's what I'll do. If you feel like comfortable closing out the claim, I'm gonna send you a full cane instead of just a topper. I was like, that's a pretty fucking good deal. I take
Why
that
not?
fucking deal. And so I messaged Dean and Manny. I was like, would y'all take that deal? Aldo Rain like, yeah, I'll take that deal.
You messaged me about it?
Yeah, I was asking you guys like, what should I do? And
I might have been asleep.
probably. So I told him I was like, that's fine. And he asked me like, how tall are you? Like, you're super tall, super short. I can adjust it to your size. And he said he should have it shipped pretty soon, which is odd because at that point I felt like he was saying like, I'm gonna take the topper and just put on a cane, which is like, but I thought you dropped it off. So I don't know, but at any rate, potential for redemption. I forgive, I forget. If this comes in
You
and it's
fucking
great,
went pretty.
yeah, I would
You were
pre order
like,
this guy.
hey, by the way, this is his fucking his name on Etsy. Fuck that guy.
We'll see. If I get it and it's garbage, I'm gonna go even harder in the paint.
Yeah.
But you know, I'll look at it with open eyes.
Stuff Lysol not centered.
Oh, I would be
at the lower bottom.
Yes. So $55 for a $150 cane. It's not too bad.
That's not bad
You
at
know,
all.
we'll see. If it comes great, all is forgiven. We'll make a nice stuff. We'll mention the podcast apology. You know, I'm a man of my word. I'll apologize. I'm an honorable individual,
A
but
man can only admit when he was wrong.
yeah. And at this point, it's supposed to. It's been about a month and a half. So
Jeez.
you know, I
Speaking
mean, is he
of-
digging up the amber from the ground?
Yeah,
And,
sounds
you know,
like
it's
it.
like you couldn't find an amber reserve. But we'll see.
That was last week's.
So that was
Grinds
last
My
week's
Gears.
Grinds My Gears. Let's talk about this week's Grinds My Gears. Dean, you're gonna take over, but I do want to add to what you have
Yeah,
to say.
yeah, yeah.
So
Because this-
go ahead and take it away.
Okay, so this happens back when they announced the Bring Arts Pharmacy 9 figures.
By the
This
way,
is
I
like-
was so proud of him for stepping in here.
This is only
honestly. It
What?
was not that long ago.
like
it was
a week ago.
No, not a week. It must have been a couple weeks because the
No,
the
because we
pre-orders-
didn't talk about it last week. I would have brought it up.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay. Well,
this was literally like not that long ago.
no, it wasn't. I remember because
So-
it's still
Okay,
so
tell us
fresh
what
in
it
my
is.
mind.
So,
Jesus.
so
Goddamn.
this guy sees the figures. It's Zidane and Garnet Bring Arts in the package,
Uh-huh.
and it's a fuck ton of stuff. Like I said, they each have like 4 sets of hands. Garnet has 6 head sculpts. Zidane has 3. Like multiple weapons each. I'm assuming display stands. It's a bunch of stuff. And he says, they look amazing, but I can in no way justify the price anymore. I remember buying the original releases of Final Fantasy figures from Square Enix when the price was $30 to $40, and thought that when they jumped to $90, it was getting too pricey. I admit these new figures are much more detailed, they have more poses, and I don't know what he says there. Oh, movement. But $180, it just isn't for me. Now, it's hard. It's really hard to compare a $30 figure to a $100 figure.
Yeah.
You just really can't do that. But this guy wants to, so I was like, all right, let me learn you something real
Yeah.
good. So I jumped in there and I said, as a figure collector, I can tell you that you really do get what you pay for. Not just in paint quality, but in sculpt, articulation, and the accessories alone. That's 9 head sculpts in one box. That's one part of like the main part of any figure is a fucking head. And I said I suggest looking at SH Figuarts and Dragon Stars. I was like, they're both made by the same company. One's a $20 figure and one's a $60 to $100 figure. The engineering alone is staggering compared to the two.
Yeah.
The amount of posing that you could get out of a Figuarts is just not even possible in the Dragon Stars. And so I was basically just like,
Because Dean owns a full set of the original Final Fantasy 9 toys as well.
yeah,
We know how much they were back then, but they just do this.
they're not even 5 points of articulation.
No, not even. It's
Now
like
I'll
a
I'll
waist
pass this
and their arms.
to Jesse because I don't think he's seen it.
I don't think so.
On the left is the original Zidane figure, and on the right, the picture on the left is everything you got with Zidane. It was not $30. It was like $19.99. And then the picture on the right is what the figure looks like, and then below is
But
everything.
remember,
Can you
back
show
then
it to
they
the
also
camera
came
too?
in pairs.
Yes.
They also came in pairs back then as well.
And they,
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
they did also come in pairs back then.
Trying to brighten this up. guys?
I think Zidane came with Vivi, if I remember
Yeah,
right.
Zidane Vini, Garnet Steiner.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't remember the rest of them, but
Yeah.
So, like,
Wow.
it's just like,
Show the camera. I don't want to drop it.
as someone who collects, I can tell you,
I guess your grinds my gears is people who don't understand.
people who don't understand what goes into a figure, like, oh, I remember spending $50 on that. It's like, yeah, a decade and a half ago.
yeah.
Prices go up.
I was telling Dean, in fact, my first Sonic statue that I bought from First Four Figures, classic Sonic, $75 in 2008.
It was a big ass statue.
Now, the Sonic statues are pushing about $300 after shipping. I mean, the materials, the cost of manufacturing, the packaging, all that
The
stuff goes up.
apps.
Yeah, all that stuff goes up in price.
And it
over
gets
time.
better with time.
Yeah.
You're
Much
telling me
better,
a
yeah.
Marvel Legend from 2008 is better than one that comes out today? I don't think so.
No.
That's why they reissue fucking 1,000 fucking Wolverines. It's because the one they make today is gonna be better. Not every time, but a
Yeah.
lot of times it's gonna be better than the one that came out 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you just want to sound smart, like, oh, I can't justify spending that kind of money on a toy. It's like, well,
But you
it's
don't
because
know
you
what you're
don't
getting.
understand what goes into making it or
Mhm.
the other possibilities out there. You want a $30 toy? I'll find you a $30 fucking toy. I guarantee you're not
It's
gonna
gonna
like it.
it's gonna look like oh my god, what
It's
were
just
the
gonna be
things?
like a 3D printed block of cheese.
Like,
Like, it's just like you can't, if you don't know what you're talking about,
yeah, that difference is
it's night and day.
Yeah.
It's just like, it really pissed me off that I was like, alright dude, you obviously don't know what you're talking about, you're just trying to sound cool and edgy. You're a fucking edgelord.
No, I
But
just
yeah,
don't
it's just
see.
really
I don't
crazy.
see the value in going on the internet and complaining about the price. Like, if it's not for you, just move along.
Yeah, just don't say anything.
Mhm.
Now, if you see it and you're gonna spend the money on it, there's something you don't like the cap head, yeah, by all means, voice your opinion.
Yeah, they want the Bring Arts toy for the price of like Robert Cop. You ever seen that, the knockoff? Robert
Oh,
Cop.
instead of RoboCop?
Yeah.
Robert.
It's so funny, man. Just Google it. It's the funniest thing. Like,
Yeah, like
if you want,
are those knockoff Star Wars toys that are like space wizards and it's like Gandalf the Grey with a lightsaber.
Yeah.
So whack. But it's like, yeah, it's like that's you're uneducated in what prices a figure.
Yeah.
Like she said, like the quality goes up, the engineering goes up, the
Yeah.
manufacturing
buy that.
prices.
there he is.
I would actually
Robert
buy
Cop.
that.
Manufacturing goes up.
Yeah.
You know, stuff like that.
Okay. Let's get right back into it.
Oh,
Yeah, I just wanted to say real quick.
okay.
The computer gets like clunky.
Oh, look at this Star Wars one.
It really dense on the force.
Stars Wars yours. Wait, what do the
Wasn't
subtitles
his
say?
mustache?
It says
Karate
Karate
Farmer?
Farmer, Wise Puppet, and a door ladder.
Door ladder. Oh shit.
Whatever that means. I have no
Is it a
idea.
hatch?
Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, 3. So I thought we were gonna go a different direction with grinds my gears because we have a
Oh.
show sheet. It was just an outline, and
Yeah,
I thought our points might be a little bit similar, but I guess this is a bonus by grinds my gears.
Okay.
Perhaps maybe paralleling.
Go
I'm
for it.
excited.
So
Whatever I can talk about
I
that makes me
see
mad.
I see this comment at least once a day,
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
and it's blank 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 figure isn't worth $20, and it is so annoying. I don't think we've talked about this on the podcast. Maybe we have, but you have to realize like $20 is kind of like the entry point for like a figure these days. You know, if you look at what you can buy for $20, you can get about 2 Funko Pops, maybe for like $25.
Mm.
You can get maybe a small Lego set, you know, 200 pieces, 230 pieces. You know, Marvel Legends, a Black Series, a Dragon Stars, a McFarlane figure, or if you pay $25, you get the Dragon. You can get roughly 1 Hot Toys Cosbaby. You can get, for $15, $16, the Funko Vinyl 2-pack bobbleheads.
Mm.
So $20 is like the entry point for a lot of brands, you know? Like you mentioned, you have Figuarts at $60, which is a more premium brand, Bandai branded collectible.
Right.
You have Mezco 1/6, which is like $80 to $100, which is a more premium, maybe a Marvel Legend, a more premium DC collectible figure. You can also get the DC multiverse figures for $20. Every day I hear people complaining like, oh, the one that really got me was this guy's like, man, I got this Arya Stark McFarlane figure and the articulation sucks. And I pointed out like you could just take a razor to the skirt, cut it, and then it's perfect. For $20, I shouldn't have to do that. And I certainly agree for $20, you for any amount of money, you shouldn't have to modify a figure. But everything is there for the figure to be as accurate or as articulated as you want. You know what I mean? It can be a very accurate sculpt that's not very articulated, or you can cut it and have maybe a less accurate sculpt and a more articulated figure. Case in point, Ronin, the $20 Indian Ronin. I saw a video where this guy
Oh, I saw
he
that
cut
something.
the,
Yeah, I
the
saw it.
tunic and
Yeah,
it became a
the
fantastic figure.
Avalanche,
Yeah, the
yeah.
Avalanche. So it really
Yeah,
grinds
it-
my gears because if you look at how good $20 figures are now and compare them to $20 figures from last year, the year before that, Marvel Legends and Black Series are like a quantum leap ahead.
Yeah.
You know, if you
Yeah,
look at
especially
3
with, like,
3/4,
with the face print.
yeah, if you look at 3 3/4, 3.75 Star Wars figures, I guess that's 3 3/4, $12 to $15. It's almost $20.
Yeah, they're not cheap.
6-inch
depending on
6-inch
the
Black
ones.
Series with the face print. I would say the quality of the printing. This is something that they mentioned on the Nerd Theory podcast, which we'll talk about later. It's crisp, like it's accurate, it's crisp. $20.
Yeah, because sometimes even figure arts is a little hazy.
Exactly.
It's a little fuzzy.
Every figure arts that I've ever had has been.
Although Black Series is a little bigger, figure arts isn't technically 6-inch scale.
I know what you're saying.
So their heads are a little smaller, so it's a little more difficult.
But you get what I'm saying.
But I do know what you're saying.
Yeah.
The fact that you
the
can get
fact
face
that-
printing with a $20 figure
Is-
and
is
it's
what I'm saying.
a premium figure of detail, that's a big deal.
Now, if you look at some of these figures, like Marvel Legends, are $20. The face printing is a big sell. But a lot of Marvel Legends figures reuse the same body.
Yeah.
You know, the teenage body,
Bucky
the
Cat.
Bucky Cat body. And if you look at Marvel Legend, or excuse me, McFarlane for $20, it's all original sculpting on every figure.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of reuse.
And it's a ton of sculpting.
It's a ton.
It's not
of
just
sculpting.
like a, oh hey, they sculpted in a bootstrap here. It's like, no, they sculpted in the fucking chainmail.
Yeah.
And the entire outfit, even in the part under the arm.
Yeah.
Like, you're never gonna see that and it's still there.
Yeah.
McFarlane's have always blown me away.
Yeah. And so it just really grinds my gears when people complain about things that are $20. Like $20 in
And
6
it's
scale,
not-
that doesn't pay for a non-refundable deposit. $20 in statue collecting,
Yeah,
that
like
doesn't pay the tip for the driver to deliver the fucking 150-pound statue.
Yeah.
yeah,
What were we
it's,
saying?
I think a lot of times, I think what makes it most annoying is the perception of value. Like Dean was saying, that's not worth $180. It's like $180 doesn't even cover my shipping on most things. So when I see a Zidane and a dagger for $180, I'm like, that's a great value. Holy crap! I get
Yeah.
2 really awesome characters for only $180. It's sort of relative, but there's also I think an element of I don't know, entitlement to that. Like, well, I think that people should slave away to create something like this for $50.
Yeah.
You know, like,
It's like
that's not gonna happen.
The hours that went into just shaving down the edges of this armor plating.
Yeah, this is beautiful.
And then keep prepping it for paint. Even if you're paying that dude minimum wage, that's still, I don't know, $100.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it boggles my mind. That
so you
people
want
can
something for nothing.
complain
I think
about
we
this,
haven't talked about this before.
like $20. Like
You can talk about
I
this all the
saw
time.
the $20 face print cap from the in-game wave. I think is wearing the white suit.
Okay.
Whatever character it was, looked fantastic. I didn't even like Cap. I didn't even like those stupid suits, but I was like, God damn, this is a nice for $20.
Dude.
Not only that, but they were on sale at Walmart for $18.50.
I really want the Black Widow from Endgame, and
Yeah, in
she's
the
in
Marvel
that suit,
Legends.
but I kind of want to just put it on my body,
Yeah.
on my Black Widow body,
Uh-huh.
because the face, I don't even think I've seen a Black Widow that looks more like Black Widow.
It's fantastic.
Like even the figure ones, I don't even want to say even Hot Toys, because she might look more like Scarlett Johansson than my Avengers 1 Black Widow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But she comes in that stupid dual pack with all the head sculpts. I'm like,
Yeah.
I have to spend $60 on one character.
So that's my grind my gears,
Yeah.
bonus grind my gears. I feel like toys are so good that
People
you
just don't
can't
understand value.
complain
Mhm.
about.
It ties into what I'm saying.
Yeah,
It's
you know
like,
what I'm saying? It's like
you're
these are
complaining-
Fantastic.
It's related, yeah.
For 25, I paid $25 for the building set and $25 for the dragon. That is a $50 well spent. You know,
Yeah.
and obviously you have gems now and again. You know, Tywin Sensation the Advisor, $115 for a fantastic figure.
Yeah, that's easy.
Few and far between.
Honestly, if you just showed that to me and said, guess how much this was, I probably would have said like 180, 200 easy.
Yeah. You have
Before
gems now
shipping.
and again, but I just feel like as collectors we're perhaps getting a bit entitled about what $20, $50, $100, $200 is supposed to bring us. I certainly don't
Weren't
think
you the one complaining about Cap?
I'm about to say I certainly don't think a cap is worth $275. You know, just last year $251.
But the two bonus accessories are going to justify it.
No.
I think, just
No.
in terms of weight.
If the second bonus accessory is a hand job, maybe, but just kidding. It's
My
just,
sister's here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
How dare you? We're
It just
done.
it
Let's
to
go.
me it's I don't know.
It's
Like look at Jedi Luke a few years ago, 220, fantastic figure. 275 for Cap, come on.
what about the new Luke?
Let's which one?
The same Luke, but with another head sculpt and accessories.
Yeah, that's like 280. It's like 281.
So
Not
you
a
get
good-
another head sculpt and it's the same price. He comes with two head sculpts.
Yeah, but the Cap head sculpt, half of it, it's a head sculpt and then just a helmet.
But it's still
But
a head
the
sculpt.
paintwork on the helmet is significantly less than the paintwork on the face.
I'm
Agree to
just-
disagree. I'm just saying.
I'm
For
gonna-
some things
yeah,
I can say
agree to
that's fine,
disagree.
and then other
'Cause
things.
it's-
I'm just saying, pick your battles.
I'm just saying two
Don't
head
pick your
sculpts-
battle for a $20 Marvel.
I'm just
Or
saying
$20 McFarlane.
That's true. I will agree with you on that.
Pick
I'm
your
just
battle for
saying,
$274.
Two head sculpts for Cap, and the helmeted one is engineered to have 3 swappable faces. That's magnets.
I don't know.
I
I'm
don't
not
think
that
that's
impressed.
out of the realm.
I
of
can buy 100
possibilities.
magnets for like $1. Okay, I'm not that impressed by that.
Okay, but they're cut to fit. They're glued in place.
Not impressed. I'm sorry, I'm just not impressed.
All right.
Let's listen to Ian's listener's take. We'll hear this. We'll give our thoughts. We'll be right back.
All right.
It's a good recording so far.
Yeah, that grinds my gears last week was spot on. Yeah, no communication is an utter ball ache. I had it recently with,
Ball
I don't
ache?
like name dropping, but fella on eBay makes amazing
I
games.
think you know what we're talking about.
He does Vader, Batman, they're spot on. But he's like a mute. He doesn't communicate at all. So I messaged him and said, can I combine postage? Nothing. So I went, right, fuck it, just bought the Dark Knight cape. Literally like 4 weeks, nothing. Messaged him, nothing. Then looked on his feedback and he's got a few people refunding him and shit because of they haven't heard from him. So I messaged him again saying like, look mate, I need to know what's going on or I might have to open a case. Miraculously, that's when he decided to communicate back and say, oh no, I posted it, it'll be with you soon. And eventually it did turn up. But just no communication sucks. Then I ordered a Vader lot off of him, exactly the same deal. But I knew this time, just wait, there's no point messaging him at all. It doesn't even like update the shipping. Like it just drives me nuts. Particularly like in this day and age, it doesn't take much to drop a message saying, hey, I've shipped it, or hey, I'm going to be late or whatever. Like, it's just mental. The only other thing I wanted to ask you guys was, harking back to one of your podcasts a few weeks back, you were saying about that guy on eBay who posts his art's been held in very suggestive ways, shall we say. It reminded me of something I saw on Facebook, on a couple of the groups the other day. A fella, I'm not going to use his real name, let's just call him Dustbin Nye, had posted a picture of a Harley Quinn, the Dancer Virgin, with a load of 1/6 scale sex toys everywhere. Now, I think that's creepy as fuck. Like, having a bit of a dig at him saying, what the fuck is up with you? What do you guys think about stuff like that? Because to me, it's just weird. Like when you see Black Widows with their tits hanging out.
There's a lot of them.
Dude, there's a lot of
Or
those.
Catwoman. Like, particularly to get 1/6 scale sex toys. That's quite specific. I wouldn't even know where you'd get ones like that. But, and his response was, it's a joke.
He says he doesn't know where,
Just
but
wasn't
he
funny.
probably.
They pop up on eBay.
We'll talk about
Stuff like that. Because, yeah, it's just weird. And it's just weird. Alright, cheers.
Alright, let's get right back into it. Yeah,
Oh my
Ian,
God.
there are a lot of of that type of sexual figures. I know Denobi 2 has a lot of videos where
Dude, that
Well,
guy's.
the
when
Tita's
you
out
just
there.
type in Feising, because you start looking for bodies.
Oh, they're not called fights anymore, by the way.
Well, what is it? T League,
Yeah.
TV League. That's what they're called now. If you type that in.
I'm not correcting you. I'm just like,
No.
did you know? Sorry.
No, yeah, no. I still call them Feising, but they you just type that in, and then like automatically you get like 1/6 scale erotic stuff. And you're like, oh, okay, cool. This is in my search stuff.
That happened to me one time with figure arts. I was looking for something figure arts related,
Uh-huh.
and it was like 1/12 scale sex dungeon accessory kit. And I was like, what the fuck? I think
That's
I sent it to you.
creative.
I
No,
was like,
so one time I got an
6.
email from eBay. I've never looked up anything like this, and it was like, "Hurry, don't miss out. Only 13 left." And it was a 6 scale sex toy collection.
bag of dicks.
No, it was all kinds of contraptions. And my wife saw the email. She's like, "What are you looking up on eBay?"
Yeah, like I'm gonna surprise you later.
Yeah,
Nobody
it's
is
actually
getting
weird.
right about like the.
It's wild.
Yeah, there's a guy I really like on Instagram. It's Unreal Toys.
Yeah, like
He has fantastic work.
Yeah,
But
like
then-
he
yeah.
made the cape that you got,
Oh, okay, cool.
the Vader cape.
Nice. But he does like, he'll put his like Wonder Woman on like a fight somebody and she's in like
She's all
workout
naked
clothes.
and, like-
or like the Black Widow's like tits
D
out.
Knight does that with Catwoman. Like he
Yeah,
likes
he
to
does.
open up the cleavage a little bit too much.
Yeah, they're just kind of like, and then the guy, what's his name? Denobi?
Denobi, yeah.
Or he like has them like talk to him.
Oh, those are funny. I think those are jokes, but they're hilarious.
Yeah,
Like
and
a
he
cap
did
and
like,
like-
he's
yeah.
like, oh, I'm gonna put Ray in a Fison body, but he like didn't put her undershirts or like, it's
Yeah.
just her wraps covering her nipples. I'm just like, what the fuck is, what is
Yeah,
this?
Denobi takes it in.
It's
in a
Rule
level
34,
up.
Dean.
Yeah, Rule 34. That's right.
Basically. Don't Google that. So let's talk Custom Corner.
Please.
And if you go on our YouTube channel, youtube.com, and search Collecting Weekly, there's a video on our channel about this ODST. I detailed the parts, I detailed the costs, I detailed the rough idea of the assembly. That's a good primer for this figure, but I love it. It's a McFarlane ODST 6 scale helmet, 3D printed parts, Soldier Story body,
Oh, well, McFarlane was a
ZC
big
Toys, ZC Toys bodysuit, some third-party gloves, some military boots, and some grenades. And I adore this figure. It's fantastic. It really is one of my favorite games. The music, it's just really good.
ODST was real. What's the word? Because you play Halo 1 and I believe 2 came out before this, right? Or even 3.
And 3, yeah.
And then this was kind of like, oh,
Yeah,
this
it's
takes
Halo
place
3
right
obviously.
before.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're Master Chief, so like,
You're invincible.
yeah, you're
Almost.
not afraid of anything. You're just like, yeah, I'll run in there and kill 3 hunters and then
Yeah.
kill all the elites and I'm on my way. But when I played ODST, I really felt like, oh shit, I'm in the thick of it. Master
Yeah.
Chief is gone. There's guys in the city coming in from everywhere.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, I remember like
The
actually
music, though,
having
is
anxiety.
fantastic. Yeah.
playing ODST.
But it's cool because there's night vision.
Yeah, it's got a bunch of his own little
there's,
tools. that he
some cool guns, and this was something that I'd always wanted to build. It was something that from the time I first became interested into it to the time it was complete, it was almost a year, because we were waiting for these helmets.
Right.
Someone from a GameStop that closed down found a case of them, put them on eBay for like $5 to benefit charity, and I bought 5 of them. And Andrew Moore, M-O-R-E Shots on Instagram, fantastic guy. He won our first ever giveaway for the helmet, and
Did you get that out to him finally?
he asked me to hold it because
Okay.
he wants me to paint his armor.
Oh, okay, cool.
And I just really adore this figure. It's 6 scale fabric, beautiful camouflage undersuit. Painted it in German gray, weathered it with pigments and chrome paint. The latest change that I made was I painted the visor blue, which is kind of a throwback to some of the artworks for the game. I also have the silver visor.
What is
the
it?
helmet
Oh,
silver
it's
visor.
silver.
Yeah, in the game I think it's silver, but in some of the
I always
the shows it's blue. And Andrew actually wanted a red visor, so this is red. It looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
So this is just like kind of my love song to this game. It's a fantastic game, and when I got it back from Galactic Warfighters, it was missing the boot covers, and so I made new ones that were smaller. It was missing the pistol, and I have that in from Shapeways. And there was a few parts that I had to reassemble. He shipped it like all the armor off, which I thought was kind of weird, but it was easy enough to put it back on. And I just really adore this figure. I'm going to make a more detailed video on the ODST, so if you're listening to Collecting Weekly or you're watching the YouTube, email me Zach, Z-A-C-K at collectingweekly.com. If you have any questions about the figure or the build process, let me know, and we'll talk about this in a second. Let me know, and I'd be happy to answer them in the video. I'm going to be shooting that video next weekend, so any questions that you have, just let me know. I'd be happy to answer them. But Dean is pretty critical of customs, but I know you're pretty impressed by this custom.
Dude, I freaking love this thing so much.
Yeah.
I-
You were remarking about the book covers?
Yeah, they look better.
Yeah.
You sculpted those, or?
No, those are from the Kyoto Vader model kit. I cut the tips off the boots.
Oh,
and then, shaved them and then kind of remolded them to the foot.
Nice.
The other ones were a little large, admittedly.
Yeah, those look amazing. Yeah, I love this thing so much that I was like, don't ever sell it, because like I wouldn't. How do I want to word that? Like, I want this, but I wouldn't buy it from you. Does that make sense? Like, I don't want you to ever get rid of it.
It's fantastic.
It's so cool that I don't even. I don't know. I'm in a weird spot with it. Like, I want it, but I still wouldn't buy it from you because
Yeah.
it's just so cool and unique that you did it.
Yeah.
That I'm like, don't sell it.
Now, I printed my own decals for the O positive signs on the shoulder and the UNSC.
Is that his blood type?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
the,
cool.
That's the rookie's blood type.
That's
The
nice.
UNSC decals are from Bad Mother Customs.
So if he gets hurt in battle, they know. his
Yeah,
blood
they know
type.
it's a transfusion
That's
with.
hilarious. Is that a thing?
Yeah, in the game. Or in the artwork, all the ODSTs have their blood types. I'll show you later.
That's cool.
But I love it. It just looks really good. The big thing was the boot covers, and those are fixed. And when I got this kit, like I said, it's all 3D printed parts from Shapeways, other than the helmet and the body.
Are these
And-
3D printed? Like these
Yeah,
are
that's all.
clips?
No, those are just
They're
clips.
just clips. Okay.
When I got this, Jesse, if you look here, all this rigging here,
Yeah.
this is all sculpted, and I paid this gentleman named Andrew Moore, or I'm sorry, Andrew Sharon, rather, to Dremel off all the existing buckles so that I could apply actual functioning buckles. And the guy did it for a very reasonable price. And I think if you're interested in commissioning one, he's still willing and able to make them. So
That's
Wow.
amazing.
oh, this is upside down. That's embarrassing. But yeah, so
That's cool. The freaking Velcro.
I love this this collectible, and the boots were a big thing. I made a custom base for it, like the rainy, desolate city base with the little yellow stripe for traffic. I thought that was really cool. And
Yeah, because that's such an iconic, like,
yeah, New Mombasa, yeah.
yeah.
And we also made the grenades. I made them myself. I combined parts from this 2 different figures to make the grenades to look as close to the Halo frag grenade design as possible. And I just adore this figure. I have a backpack for it. I didn't put it on the table because the magnet's a little weak. I still need to figure that out. But it's just a really fun figure.
Not
It's
impressed
very
by
very
magnets.
rare. And the cool thing is, with Sergio's Clone Commando, a lot of people hold the ODST and the Clone Commando in really high regards, like nerds and military people. And I'm excited because a lot of people are really looking forward to seeing my pictures of both of them finished together. Because not a lot of people have one, let alone both.
Yeah.
So
You're one of those.
I'm a trailblazer, you know?
Well,
International
you are a
podcaster.
trailblazer, but like the Chevy Trailblazer, no one liked.
Oh, that's a little rough.
Oh,
If you like what you hear, you can find more of our podcasts on Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, Spotify. We have a YouTube channel. It's youtube.com, and then search Collecting Weekly. We just hit 100 subs yesterday.
Oh, did we?
It's fantastic.
Great.
On
Yeah.
YouTube?
On YouTube, yeah, 100
Wow.
subs. Join us on Facebook, Collecting Weekly Auxiliary. If you want to buy our shirts, support our podcast. TeePublic is the website. Just search Collecting Weekly. We added. Manny has a Have a Nice Day shirt, which is like the bag design from the gas station
Yeah.
with Collecting Weekly. I put a Stark Industries style Collecting Weekly logo. Any ideas you guys have, we're willing to make anything because
Yeah, it
the
doesn't
more
cost us
choices,
anything,
the
right?
more choices that y'all have to show your love for us, the more that we feel invested in the community, and the more that it helps support us because we haven't had a sponsor in about a month and a half, 2 months, and this show has some cost to run, and it helped us out a lot. We had I think 20 shirts sell this month, so that helped us out tremendously, and that kind of funds the podcast for a while. So if you bought a shirt, send me an email with your picture, Zach@collectingweekly.com.
We'll
Would
do it
love
right
to
now.
make a video of everyone who bought shirts. I think it's so cool. Shout out time. Actually, real quick, on our YouTube, we have our weekly Throne Talk series.
Oh yeah,
And,
that's fun.
And that's a fun thing that we do after each Game of Thrones episode.
I think another buddy of mine wants to jump on.
Oh, and Gene just showed me the thing. I think we lost like a subscriber or two, so we're not on it anymore. But it is what it is.
I was just on there. I didn't see 100.
No, I got a screenshot. It was there. We also have an in-game spoilers review, which we're very cautious about spoilers. I know we were going to edit out something Dean said earlier, but
Yeah, it was about Iron Man. Just kidding.
also we should edit that one out too.
Iron Man's in the movie, guys.
Spoiler alert.
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, if you guys want to avoid spoilers, don't watch In-Game. It's full of spoilers.
Yeah.
You know what I think one of the coolest things ever is that when did the last one come out?
The last one, what?
The Avengers movie.
Just-
Like part one.
Oh,
last
Infinity
year.
War? Last year.
Last year, okay.
Last
So
May.
a year ago, okay, we had Doctor Strange witness all spoilers like 14 million times, and he never told one spoiler.
Even in, yeah.
Yeah.
So guys, be like Doctor Strange.
Yep.
You didn't spoil the ending for anybody.
That's cool, and like I said, we're doing a lot of content on YouTube. So if you like this podcast and you're like, man, I wish there was more Collecting Weekly.
Oh, there's more.
There's probably more content. No, there's not. There's a lot of content on YouTube. There's a moderate amount of content that you haven't heard yet or seen yet.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones content, Avengers content, unboxings. I put my first figure review ever, which is really cool because I thought when I was done, I was like, this is garbage. Like, I'm gonna get roasted for this. Extremely positive reactions. 2 people messaged me, it's like, hey, I bought the figure based on your review. Thank you so much. Really encouraged me to do more reviews. We also do some behind the scenes stuff. I think Jesse's gonna put the behind the scenes from last episode. We really didn't shoot a lot of BTS this episode.
Dude, some of our videos have a lot of views.
Yeah, I know. We have some cool lighting videos, some tutorials. I do some painting stuff there.
Dude, I share that video all the time.
It's such a good video, the
It
lighting
really is.
tutorial.
Because every time someone has a question, I'm like, they answer in this video.
Yeah, you guys did a great job
It's
on that.
2 different options. They talk
2
about
different
how
price
to do it.
points, 2 different methods.
That's a
approaches.
great video.
Yeah, good job, Jesse.
Good job,
and Annie.
Jesse.
Now, shout out time. I want to give a shout out to Brian and Chris, 6 Scale Scavengers. They run a fantastic podcast, Marvel, Star Wars. If you like what you hear on our podcast, you'll love what you hear on theirs. They're a fantastic show. Our good friend Cody from Echo Based Customs has started his own podcast, Nerd Theory Podcast. I always say that you can never have too much to listen to.
That's
So
true.
they have a really good show. Their show is maybe not super safe for work. So if you're, ours we curse a little bit, but there's, we're all adults, and that's how they choose to run their show. But it's hilarious. I laughed out loud at least 6 times in their latest episode. They got 2 episodes up.
That's high praise.
No, I'm being totally serious. It's
No, from you saying that
Uh,
after a lot of So.
And I wanted to give a shout out to Ian, Ashton, Mervin, Greg, and Darren. The first three, they allowed us to Photoshop their images, and also Chris from Six of Scavengers, they allowed us to Photoshop their images into our artwork for this podcast episode. And I want to give a shout out to Darren. He wore a Collecting Weekly shirt to a Star Wars convention.
Yeah, that was
overseas.
so cool. I was gonna ask you who that was.
Yeah, that was cool. We are going to be taking 1 week off, so there's probably going to be really cool news next week. And just in advance, that figure cost too much. The head sculpt sucks. They did better in the last figure, so on and so forth. That's probably what we'd say anyways. Just kidding. We'll catch up on that news when we get back. But you guys will not go a week without content because on Friday I am filming an interview with Yost from Jazzing Dioramas.
Yay.
We're going to talk about his wonderful idea to make the 6-scale BVS Batman. I'm going to be interviewing him Friday morning. It's going to go live.
Batmobile.
Oh, I'm sorry, Batmobile.
I was like,
He's making a 6-scale BVS Batmobile.
Yeah.
My apologies. That video is going, or that podcast rather, is going to go live Wednesday, same time as usual next week, and then we'll be back in the week afterwards.
Cool.
So that's going to be really cool. Do you guys have any shout outs you wanted to give?
I just want to give a shout out to Manny because I'm not here.
Yes.
I miss you.
Actually, I have one more thing to say, but I'll let you finish.
Shout out Dork Dad again.
Yes. Yes.
Um,
Yes.
That's it.
Real quick before you guys get your shout outs in, I'm also was invited to be on the Scavengers Assemble live show, which
Wow.
is hosted by Brian and Chris
Okay.
from 60 Scavengers. If you want in, I can see if I
I'm
can get
just
you a
saying,
spot.
they picked the most boring guy on our show to go on theirs.
Well, their show's so awesome, they have to balance it with the boringness of me.
I'm
So it's
just
like you
kidding.
can't have all awesome, otherwise.
Too much awesome.
Yeah, I don't know what you would do. You got the perfectly balanced.
No,
yeah.
no, you're perfect.
So that is going to be Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8 p.m. Central Time, and I will be live repping CW on that show.
Sweet.
So that's cool. And I think it hits their actual podcast feed, so if you listen to them already, you'll hear my beautiful voice on that.
Nice.
I'm sorry, Deanie and Jesse, did you guys have any shout outs?
I'd like to give a shout out to Sam from Australia.
What up, Sam? Hello, mate. Bobby.
She was sweet enough to
Wow.
agree to listen to the podcast today since I told her I would be on. So
What up, Sam?
She's a sweetheart. She's nice. We play Monster Hunter together.
Monster Hunter, Dean mostly rages.
I
rather
rage
than
quit the fuck out of that. I hate that stupid
Well, Sam,
game.
we are very happy to have you as a listener of this podcast. You're invaluable. You're a beautiful individual. Frankly, Australia is one of the best places in the world.
yeah, agreed. Totally
So-
agreed.
Yeah. Shout out Russo brothers for that awesome flick and all the cast and the 10 years of.
I was
pumping
surprised
it.
he was actually in the movie.
Yeah, he
Really?
was.
Yeah.
Where?
Wait,
Wait, I thought it was two people. The Russo brothers.
Yeah, but
The
main,
one of the directors.
Yeah, he's in the movie.
Actually-
We're talking about the movies, or in the
Oh, okay.
Wait,
So
wait.
something we
Wait,
can't
wait,
say.
wait. Maybe no
No spoilers. But something we can't say is like each director the director of Iron Man was not in the movie.
Jon Favreau.
Jon Favreau. The director of Ragnarok was in the movie with
Yeah.
his character, and then the Russo brother. So I thought that was kind of neat that they did that.
Yeah.
You'll have to explain to me when you're
Yeah,
next.
let's.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
when we're
missed
off
it.
here, we'll explain because I'm totally lost. I know Happy is Favreau. but-
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm Zach.
I'm Dean.
I'm Jesse.
I'm Deanie.
Catch you guys in 2 weeks on the Collecting Weekly podcast.
Or you'll see us on Monday for Game of Thrones talk, and
Basically.
we still have
Unboxings
content.
on YouTube.
Subscribe to our YouTube. We gotta get back to 100.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm gonna look like an idiot.
Alright.
Bye.
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 Okay, cut the video, and then I need to hear who this